Okay, so things that have already been. This is a song that has definitely got an extensive backstory, so bear with me a little bit. I'm going to take you back to 2011, and when I was working on, developing a script for a movie called A Man Named Shu under the encouragement of my friends and collaborators Eric Johnson and Keith Withers. It was this very bizarre, surreal comedy that everybody loved except for the people that we were hoping to finance it. So, unfortunately, despite having a full cast and crew set up, we had to cancel the movie sometime in 2012. And I spent the next year or so trying to find some way of adapting it into another medium, if for no other reason than to reward the everybody who was very loyal to the script and wanted to see it made in some way. Fast forward to 2013, I was in the middle of working on my second album, 3 Minute Warning, while going to school full time, I might add. And I had gone to the CD launch party of my old drama teacher, Rob Green, who was releasing his solo album called Soul Dancing. And we got to talking a little bit about things that I did in high school. We got to talking about Man Named Shu, and it all kind of gelled together, and it dawned on me that maybe I could make it Man Named Shu work as an album musical. So after talking it over with the guys and getting their support and endorsement, it was tentatively going to be the third Sonic Snafu album. And I started doing some preliminary work on it within a couple of months of finishing 3 Minute Warning. Unfortunately, in the meantime, life got in the way. I had met my wife. We got married. We had a son, and we had all manner of personal and financial drama stemming not only from that, but from the fact that I had lost my job shortly before we got married. Frankly, it just wasn't a priority to do it anymore, and unfortunately, the concept entirely got scrapped when I had a falling out with Keith and Eric. So, the Man Named Shu project as a whole is probably dead. But before it got shelved, I did get to record a couple of tracks, which got released in some form or another on the Storytelling EP that I put out late in 2013. And among them was the very first version of Things That Have Already Been. So, wanting to give it a more proper home, when I started working on this album, I decided to resurrect that track, which had become popular as a standalone piece. And by resurrect, I basically mean re-record it from the ground up. I kept the style of it basically the same, but much better sound quality and certainly better performances. Excuse me. It always kind of amuses me when people hear it now and assume that because I'm talking about a dramatic, strenuous domestic situation / love affair, people assume that I'm talking about my wife. The funny thing is that, well, not only did I write and originally release a song before I even met my wife, but strangely, I'm actually writing it from the point of view of an ex-girlfriend of mine, because within the context of Man Named Shu, the song was supposed to be sung by the lead female character, Cassandra, who has a very colorful history with the lead character, Shu. And the whole thing was very loosely based on things that had happened between me and an ex-girlfriend of mine a long time ago that have since been resolved to a certain extent. But I still thought that it made for interesting cinematic material, particularly in terms of a comedy. So yeah, technically I'm saying from my ex-girlfriend's point of view about hypothetically being forced to live with me. So yeah, it's kind of ironic. Production-wise, it's pretty straightforward. The only real comparisons to be made are between this and the original version on Storytelling, particularly in regards to what is done to the vocals, because I almost wanted it to be done as a very heavy track. Back in 2013, I couldn't really do that at all on my singing voice, so what I tried to do was double track it. In fact, I'm not overly fond of it in the first place, but it sort of did its purpose then. In the meantime, I had progressed enough as a singer that I could put a harsh edge on my voice naturally, so I just left it as is on the final version. Just going to play a little bit unplugged for you.
What's it gonna take to get her out my door? I've had it up to here, I can't take any more. I can't move, can't think, can't feel any space without that woman always getting in my face. Why do I have to keep paying the price? Feel her hate when I look her in the eye. I get it, I screwed up, don't rub it in. I can't change the things that have already been. Oh.